If you're a parent, you know that the weight of responsibility can feel immense. I mean, we want to give our kids the absolute best of everything, right? But what if the single most important thing we can build for them isn't found in a classroom or on a sports field, but right inside the walls of our own home? Today, that's exactly what we're going to explore. Just think about that for a second. We focus on so much stuff: academics, sports, their future careers. But what if the most powerful, most enduring thing we can build for them is something deeper, something that will anchor their entire soul for the rest of their lives? And this is the core idea we're unpacking. The Bible is incredibly clear about this. This isn't a task to outsource to Sunday school or a youth group, as wonderful as those things are. No, the primary responsibility for a child's spiritual education rests squarely on us, the parents. It's a central, non-negotiable calling. So where does this idea of parental responsibility even come from? Well, it's definitely not some modern concept. It's a blueprint that was laid out thousands of years ago. Let's dig into the scriptures to really understand the why behind this profound and honestly beautiful instruction. This right here is the cornerstone passage from the Old Testament. And I want you to notice that word diligently. This isn't a casual suggestion, It's a command for intentional, constant, and really earnest instruction. And here's what's so crucial to get. This isn't just about a 30-minute Bible lesson once a week. Deuteronomy paints this incredible picture of a home where faith is the very air you breathe. It's woven into every single moment, from conversations over breakfast to prayers at bedtime.
And this principle carries right on into the New Testament. Here, the Apostle Paul reinforces it with a direct call to fathers. The focus is bringing children up in the Lord, which means it's instruction centered on the person and work of Christ. And notice that little warning in there. Our approach matters a lot. The goal is to build them up, not exasperate them.
And let's look closer at those two words, discipline and instruction, because the original Greek is so rich. Paideia isn't just about punishment, it's the entire training process. Think of a coach shaping an athlete. And nautoutheia is the verbal part, the counsel, the why behind the rules. You need both. You need the actions and the words to create a complete picture of a spiritual upbringing.
Okay, so we have the biblical why, but what does this actually look like in practice? I mean, for centuries, theologians have wrestled with this very question. So let's look at what's called the Reformed framework to see how they developed a practical what to go along with the scriptural why. This is such a powerful analogy. If, as Psalm 127 says, children are a heritage from the Lord, then parents are like gardeners. We don't create the life, right? But we are entrusted to cultivate, nurture, and protect these precious, immortal souls that are in our care. It's such a high calling. And look at this. This is where it all clicks into place. This table shows a direct line from that biblical command in Deuteronomy, teach diligently, to a concrete historical practice: family worship. See, this wasn't just a good idea they came up with. It was a deliberate plan to live out that command. A key part of that practice was using a catechism. And if a child's faith is like a growing vine, then a catechism is like a trellis. It provides a sturdy, reliable framework of core doctrines that gives their faith shape and strength and support as it grows. Okay, so this all sounds wonderful in theory, but let's be honest. How do we actually do this in the chaos of modern family life? This is the crucial part, right? It has to be practical. So let's open the toolbox and find the simple tools you can start using right away. And the great news is, it starts incredibly simply. First, this has to be a matter of prayer and commitment. You just decide together that this is going to be a priority. Second, consistency is key, so pick a time that works for your family's rhythm. Right after dinner is often perfect for people. And finally, gather your tools. You don't need a seminary degree for this, just a Bible, maybe a simple children's catechism, and a willing heart. And just look how manageable this can be. We are not talking about an hour-long service here. We're talking 15 minutes. Broken down like this, it feels so achievable. 5 minutes to read a Bible story, 5 minutes to discuss one simple question and answer. Anyone can do this. But remember, it's not just about that one structured time. It's about weaving faith into the fabric of your whole day. When a child shares a toy, you can talk about God's generosity. When you're studying history, you can discuss God's sovereign plan. It's all about connecting all of life back to Him. And this might be the most important point of all. Our kids see our lives. The most powerful teaching tool isn't a book or a schedule. It's a parent who genuinely loves God.
Sincere devotion is contagious. And on the flip side, as Ephesians warns, hypocrisy can provoke and discourage them. So in the end, it's really these two things working together. The planned, structured time of family worship provides the strong framework, and then the spontaneous, everyday conversations fill that framework with life and color. Both are absolutely essential. They're two sides of the same coin.
So, let's end with this. Don't get overwhelmed by trying to build the whole house at once. Just focus on one brick. What is one small, simple thing you can do to lay a foundation for their faith, starting this week? That's the question we want to leave you with. Thanks for tuning in to Theology Unpacked. Please like, subscribe, and share this with the first person you thought of who needs to hear it.